Culture to me means creativity. I mean, you can't define what it has to be. You can't tell people what their culture has to be, can you? You know, it's anybody's culture, whether it's an old people's home and somebody's doing a painting, that's culture. Whether it's a kid in a primary school doing a drawing as well, that's culture, isn't it? I mean, there's some culture you connect with more because it's connecting to sort of the way you feel about the world, whatever. So for me, my culture would have been, well, it would have started with punk rock, you know, and goes off on lots of tangents. But that's still interests me and excites me. But it's not a culture that everybody should have. I mean, the culture in here, I mean, most of the things that are on here, Burning Mechanics, are bands doing covers of Fleetwood Mac, whatever. Do you know what, in the end, I think as long as people are going out and meeting other human beings, that's probably the culture as well, isn't it? Like, instead of just staying in and watching the telly all the time, an excuse to go and actually do something that's completely natural is go and be in a room with other people. You know, whatever excuse gets into that room is completely valid. Culture is defined by posh people in London, isn't it? So what they don't get, they tell everyone else who can't be into it. You see this now, there's a lot of white working class lads in bands who get number one albums but don't get on the radio, never get written about anywhere. So they create their own culture. People are very sniffy about it, but it's still culture, like you're saying. Of course football's culture, not just the football, what you wear to the football, how you go to the football, the route you take to the football. You know, I remember, I was just thinking, I remember 1977, we went on a load of buses to Burnley for Blackpool. You know what that's like. And we got here, and Blackpool, we were all into punk, so everyone had punk clothes on. And Burnley had a different look. It was still donkey jackets and flares, which are fine, it's just different, you know. And a lot of the fights were the Burnley fans are coming to Blackpool fans and going, what music do you like? And they're going, punk. And then there's a fight, not even the football they were fighting over. And there's about 30,000 people there. It was intense, the atmosphere, you know. And I remember that very, very clearly from when I was a kid and things. That culture is super important, isn't it? But for me, I've always liked music more. It's always been my thing, really. But music crisscrosses as well. It's what you wear, and it's how you relate to the music, where you go, how you listen to the music. These are all part of the process, aren't they? I'm fascinated by old culture. I'm fascinated by culture that I don't even relate to as well, you know. I'm interested in why people wear a certain pair of shoes or listen to a certain thing in a certain space. All that kind of stuff is really fascinating, isn't it? The accents are so strong in Lancashire, aren't they? Because they were mill towns and everyone went on holiday together and nobody ever met anybody from any other town, and they had really strong accents which to this day have never dissipated, have they? So Burnley accent is different from Blackburn to Preston. The only town in Lancashire that doesn't really have an accent is Blackpool, because people came from other places. It's a mixture of people, so it has this kind of vague sort of Lancashire accent that's not that strong. Yeah, but you see Burnley, Blackburn, Preston, Oldham, Rochdale, even parts of Salford, I could tell where people are from their accent. I think that's quite amazing, isn't it? Because we are tribal, aren't we, in a sense, you know, and these things are important. We should never lose them, you know. As long as we don't think we're superior to other people, but we have our own culture that we're proud of, I think that's a good thing, isn't it? So what's Burnley culture? Burnley culture could be so many different things. It could be populist culture, going out on a Saturday night, it's a culture, very northern, isn't it? Or it could be really high art hidden around the corner, you know. It could be somebody doing amazing stuff in gaming, you know, one of the games designed like international, because a load of them around here. It could be Too Nice Tom with these crazy films. He's so Burnley. Tom, what's he called? Huggan, isn't it? His second name. He's a Burnley guy, you know. Or it could be Not Sensibles in the punk days, or half of Chumbawamba, you know. I mean, they all came from Burnley, didn't they? So culture's all over the place. The football's really important, and that's another fascinating thing about Burnley. I know they're not Premiership this year, but they'll probably go up. But you know, like football clubs are now city clubs, run by billionaires from Saudi Arabia. They're like supermarkets, and yet you get this, what's ostensibly a small town club, can actually look them in the eye for 3 or 4 years. That's a very interesting cultural phenomenon. And the passion that people have in a 10-mile radius to that club is unlike any other place I've ever been to, you know. You don't see Man United tops in Burnley unless somebody's having a day out. Yeah. What I think is you write a song, you play together in a band, and everyone's on the same page, and it's an amazing feeling. Anybody in a band will tell you this. The moment everybody sort of, somehow the magic is when everybody, without even saying it, is suddenly in the same space. It's beyond language, isn't it? Then I think you extend that out to a gig. If you're playing to 100 people and they all get it as well, they're all jumping up and down, That's a band, extended band. It's 104, 105 people in a room sharing that experience. And it's not about you as a performer. It's a bit, but it's also about the audience. They're performing back, aren't they? They've joined the band for an hour. Yeah. What we're talking about today, in a sense, it's already been done here, hasn't it? This idea, you've got what people perceive as a cultural desert. We need a theatre. Let's set one up. And isn't that the history of this place? And that's an example you can do in Burnley and make a decades-long running venue, or you could do a rehearsal space, or you could do an art space. I think you have to have a mix. I think this place, like this room, should be for gigs. I mean, they may even put gigs on here. And another room over there should be for young bands rehearsing. Burnley Mechanics should be for everybody who does everything in a town, you know. So if a granny wants to go painting, there should be a Wednesday afternoon painting session. It should be all art, should be in one building, and everybody bounces off everyone else. It's not exclusive, is it? You're in a band, you're 18, doesn't mean you only hang around with other 18-year-olds and bands. It should be, to me, that art should break down barriers, not create them, you know. No thanks for asking. Yeah.